guys, but we are back. 2019 is going to be huge, especially for LAFC Black and Gold. We are here for episode 1. And welcome in. And it's going to be big this year, and we're starting off big inside the locker room at Bank of California Stadium. I'm well accompanied. There's Alex Dwyer, covers MLS.
Season 2, Max.
Season 2, you ready?
Season 2, I'm ready. I'm ready to go in. Let's do this.
And if you cover the team, you know Vince LaRosa. Jordan Harvey said you set the narrative for the team. You're there with the interviews, you write the stories. You're going to read something from Vince LaRosa. Follow these guys on Twitter.
And thanks for saving the part that he was actually saying it in a bad way.
He was, but it was a moment in time. It was you set the narrative. There was a lot of pressure on you at that very point. So I don't know about you guys, but I was like a kid on Christmas Eve waiting for the schedule to come out. When it came with a big bang. Let's just show you what the schedule is going to look like. And there you go. It all begins March the 3rd, a Sunday, wraps up October the 6th. It's a lot more condensed than it was in years past. You're going to have activity pretty much every weekend. There is a gap. So LAFC plays on June the 1st. They will not play another game until June the 28th. Real quickly, guys, to start with you, Alex, new schedule. How does it look to you?
I mean, the schedule for me is it's always the big ones, the Galaxy games against Atlanta, championship teams. But with MLS and like the parity in the league, you never know who's going to be good, right? Like you don't know which games are going to matter at which times. So what I'm the most excited about is the 2 new things that we have. I'm still high on all the new stuff from last year, new stadium, going to new places, and for this year it's the Cincinnati game on April 13th.
That's the game that sticks out to you?
Yeah.
Is it because we were the new guys and now they're the new guys, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. They're coming in. They're the only new team this year. How are they going to measure up to LAFC? How are they going to measure up to Atlanta, Minnesota? And then, yeah, that's the other big one that sticks out to me. It's the last away game, new stadium in Minnesota. It's the only new stadium in the league this year. And I know that the supporters are definitely going to show out for that one. And I'm interested to see how we play against Minnesota the second time around after the,
Oh, remember, don't have to bring it up yet.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty, but there's some payback due.
Yeah, and the stadium measuring it up to Bank of California, seeing how that is. I'm sure that it's going to be, whatever it is, it's going to be a new chapter in the league, and that's always something exciting when a new schedule comes.
No turf, that's huge. But look, you look at the photos and everything about the Allianz Park there. It's spectacular, and Minnesota is on the up and up. I don't know if they did a lot of stuff on the field. We'll see if they can match that. I'm sure some of the fans are a little nervous, but still pretty good. So Vince, 2 games from that schedule. What sticks out?
I think if I want to give just an overall, the first thing I'm excited about is we're not starting on the road for 6 matches. So I'm thankful for that.
Good point. That's a good one.
If I'm picking out 2 games, and I'm picking these out and they seem obvious, but I'm going to give you different reasons why. Colorado 628.
And that would seem obvious because of Benny,
We'll
right?
affectionately dub it the Benny Bowl.
Okay.
But what I really want to focus on is 27 days between matches. And when you look at that, it's during the Gold Cup break. You say, are we going to be rolling at that time? Will we be struggling at that time? The last time we had a large break was the start of the season last year.
But not like a break like that.
Not a break like that, but you have a 5-1.
It's a whole month almost.
5-1 at RSL, you're rolling. Remember what happened next?
Galaxy game. 4-3.
My other game, I'm going to go with Toronto. Again, obvious storylines. Michael Bradley, Laurent Simon. But I want to focus on it because, one, I think that Toronto match, especially the away match, was probably one of the signature wins of the season.
Yeah.
And I think that Toronto is much better than the sum of their parts, and I expect them to be. They're still stacked. Gregory Vanderweel aside, they're still stacked.
Stacked or not stacked, Gregory Vanderweel is going to have much effect on that. But hey, that game's also big. That game's big because it's down the end of the season, and that's a big test. I think Toronto's going to be much improved. All right, I'm going to give you my 2, and we'll see what these guys have to say. Maybe I'm going a little more obvious routes here, but the Galaxy obviously is the big rivalry, but when we saw what happened last season with the Portland Timbers, and they will be facing each other at Portland, that's a game that, look, that rivalry blossomed. They played 3 times, US Open Cup, LAFC won. They lost up at their park at Providence Park 2-1, and they had a scoreless game here at Bank of California State. But there was that argument between Savarese and Bob Bradley after the first game. There was the altercation, we'll leave it at that, with Dio that certainly got the 2 teams fired up. This, to me, is right there with the Galaxy as a rivalry. So this is that game there. I think it's going to be intense. I think this is a rivalry that's going to really develop. The other one, it's the game against Atlanta United. We remember we played at their park last time. It was earlier in the season. It was a 5-zip defeat. That certainly is being memory. A memory is going to be holding true for the players. And you want to see how you are against the very best. Atlanta is the gold standard now. They're going to be a loaded team. I imagine by the time that game rolls around, that's going to be a game that's going to carry a lot of weight.
Can I slide something in about that?
Yes.
5-0 though. It was embarrassing, right? 5-0. But I talked to John Thornton after the season, and he said that at least for the first, let's say, 80 minutes, he liked what he saw from his team.
It did fall apart late.
It fell apart.
Fell apart late.
Stop
there was a
the
lot.
shine.
We can talk about VAR. We can talk about some things, but he liked that they tried to take the game to Atlanta in Atlanta. So I think you're right. They're the standard setters, right?
I
So
think
we want to see it.
I think
it's one
Max,
shot.
your first one, that one's going to be a big one. The
really-
Portland one, that's going to be the first game at Portland's new stadium. They're going to be reopening after the renovations. And last year when LAFC went up to Portland, they went up in huge numbers. This is a huge one for the supporters already. It's as big, or in some ways, there's worse blood between that and the Galaxy at this point. And I think for supporters, that game is going to be a big one. The Atlanta one, I'm not convinced because. Look what happened with Toronto, the best season in MLS history in 2017.
You think they might have that'll
They
dip?
might,
And we're going to see
we'll see how
CONCACAF
much.
Champions
Yeah,
League and-
exactly. You never know, and injuries and the coaching change. I mean, I'm not saying Atlanta will fall by the wayside, but by then you never know middle of the season which games are going to be big and which ones aren't.
I should
and
mention it was
could go
July
either way.
27th for that game.
Yeah.
So we're going to be well into the MLS season by the time
so-
that rolls around.
Well, I'm just going to say I made the mistake of wading into some Atlanta conversations with our fans, and they will be fired up. So I just know that for sure.
It is. I mean, that's the target. But that's a good point you make, Alex, because they could, with all that weight on their shoulders, this could be a season they kind of really struggle. All right, that was really good. I think we navigated the schedule. We can't wait for the season. Obviously, the season opener is going to be great, and that's coming your way on March the 3rd. We're going to be back. Much more. We're going to catch up with Bob Bradley, one of the new faces for LAFC, ahead here on LAFC Black and Gold. Hey, do you miss watching LAFC games like I do? You need something to binge watch? I got you sorted out. It's LAFC in 30. We look back at some of the best games from Season 1, where we look at all the goals, the highlights, and the analysis from some of the important games LAFC played in their inaugural season in a nice, tidy 30-minute package. Coming your way exclusively on YouTube TV with me, Max, and my Plus One analyst. Welcome back to LAFC Black and Gold. Bob, how I have missed our time together on our program. And here we go, back here for 2019.
Yeah, short off season, ready to get started.
It's quick.
Yeah, and for us, the early days of training, fantastic to be back on the field and start trying to push things along again.
How do you look for this first week? What are those things that you want to see that kind of fall into place?
I think we try to reestablish our football ideas. We start to try to build a foundation for the way guys move, the physical part of training. We try to combine everything. So we try to get physical work done by playing and start to get some football going and get things moving a little bit quicker, get guys back with an understanding of some of the good habits that were developed over the course of last season.
Continuity was probably hard to get hold of last season because there was a steady flow of new faces coming in that played significant roles. And I know in discussions I had with you, it was kind of looking towards even this season. How's that continuity now with basically that group in full to start the season changed how you view the team?
We're fortunate that there's been a lot of carryover from the first season to the second, and that means that the things that we have worked on throughout, the way we train, sort of the routine when guys show up every day, everyone knows what to expect. So I think that always helps. That also means that when you do bring new players in, getting them in the flow is a little bit easier because there's a lot of guys that can help along the way.
Tyler Miller is back from U.S. men's national team duty. Christian Ramirez, Walker Zimmerman remain. For the players, what value do they get out of that this time of the season, and what does it mean for LAFC as you wait for those guys to return?
We're always excited when guys get a chance to go in with the national team, and obviously for Walker, Tyler, and Christian, they know that there's real opportunity for them in this next period with the U.S. team, and so it was important for them to go in with Greg Berhalter and show what they're all about. And it also means that they're getting off to a good start in terms of regular training, the work in the gym, and that really works well with whatever we do in preseason, that the guys are ready when the season starts.
One guy who's not here that was Benny Feilhaber, and we heard you in the first day of training, how he's going to be missed obviously on the field, obviously in the locker room, a big presence. He logged a lot of minutes. How do you look about replacing those minutes in the lineup here in 2019 with the guys you have?
Time will tell. We're trying to build a roster where there's real competition, just like we had last year. And certainly Benny was an important part of the midfield, but right off the bat, we returned Edward Atuesta and Mark Anthony Kaye and Lee Wynn and Andre Horta. We'll continue to look at some players so that there's competition to get on the field, and that we've got different ways to cover ourselves every match.
Preseason begins on Sunday. What do you look to get out of that game and the entire preseason before we kick things off for real?
The first training match is just an opportunity to see if some of the early work is sinking in. I think guys really look forward to playing an outside team, and now we want to see that we are able to take things that we work on every day in training and make sure that everybody understands how to push those ideas against different opponents. So I think we're excited, and it gives us a little indication in the early stages of exactly where we are.
We're excited too, certainly to cover the team. I know the fans are excited. We look forward to seeing all the best in 2019 and see you on LAFC Black and Gold with some regularity. I know you got to be pumped about that.
Yeah, I am pumped about that, Max. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob. Bank of California Stadium going to be open for business really soon for the preseason against Vissel Kobe, and then looking ahead March the 3rd when they open the season for reals against Sporting Kansas City. Welcome back to LAFC Black and Gold. I have Alex and Vince here. We're having a lot of fun, us three across the board, and we have a really cool thing coming up with regards to social media, but we'll wait for that. In the meantime, guys, I want to talk about our player that we look to have, whether it's a breakout or some improvement or something that's going to carry some weight in 2019. So I will start this time. And I don't think we can ask much more from Diego Rossi, but he's young, so I'm going to ask a little bit more because I know the ceiling is high. Based on everything we saw, he's exceeded expectations. He played 33 games, 12 goals, 6 assists. They put a heavy burden on his shoulders and he answered. But now he's a year wiser. He's going to be 21 in March. That 22 for 22 poll that they released in Major League Soccer, the two guys ahead of him, Tyler Adams and Alphonso Davies, are now gone. So essentially he is the best player under 22 according to that poll, although a lot will change between now and then. I get the feeling if the work's put in, this guy seems like he's ready for that responsibility. We could see an even better Diego Rossi. If you see a better Diego Rossi, you're going to see a much better LAFC.
We've been going back and forth in the office. How many goals for Diego Rossi in all competitions? I think it was 17.
And that's going to put him amongst the top 7-8 guys in the league.
I mean, that's elite for a guy that's not even 21. I think he'll turn 21 before the start of the season. So I'm going to ask you, though, how many goals this next season? Because I've said 20, and people said that was a lukewarm take, and not fair point. But 20 would be fantastic.
I think he does so many other things around the team that, maybe they'll be deferring to some goals. I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna go 16.
Assists?
Assists maybe up a bit, maybe 8 or 9.
I could see
16 and 9.
I could see him doing like a 16 and 16 kind of thing. If he becomes he receives the ball in those dangerous areas and just starts picking out the striker, whoever it is, to tap it in on the back, that kind of thing. I think he's going to start getting smarter some of the ways he reacts this year.
I was so impressed how he handled year 1, but year 2, now you raise it up. All right, what you got, Vince?
20 and 11.
20 and 11.
20 and 11. MLS best 11. And if they redo that list, if they don't change it to 20, under 20 or whatever, because they changed it this past year, he's number 1.
Wow. Then you got to look at Carlos Vela as like the best player on this team. Diego Rossi is going to be pushing him. 2011.
Is that a problem?
Not a problem here.
That'd be great.
No
That'd be great.
Carlitos, I got no problem with
Yeah.
that. All right, Vince, I know you go in depth with some of this. Who have you got for your player?
I'm going to go Walker Zimmerman. I think with that, the signing of the contract,
That's got to feel good.
it feels great.
Yeah.
I mean, with Walker
Long-term.
coming back, you look at this guy and you look at that balance of LAFC's team. You say Carlos, he's the superstar, right? But I'm not going to say he's anywhere near the tail end of his career, but he's a known quantity. Diego's the guy that's coming up from a young age. Walker is in his prime. He's signing this contract in his prime as a center back that features a domestic center back that are very hard to come by. I talked with him just after he signed the contract, and he was feeling very much a leader. And I think he's going to be a leader. If he would have gone, that I don't know how do you
replace that?
Yeah, you have to reshuffle that defense, and we've said over and over again that Bob's system is very hard to play for center back. So I think Walker, he will step up in quality, also step up in his leadership role.
As you mentioned there, having a big center back in this league, American or non-American, is very rare. If you have one here, and I know the process to sign him, it dragged out a bit. You can certainly say that, but that's got to feel good for him, and he's going to be there from the beginning. Because Alex, you said he started the season injured in 2018.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I actually got to talk to him like a day or two before he actually signed the deal down with the U.S. national team in Chula Vista, and I just got the sense that like he wasn't saying it in so many words, but you got the sense that he really wanted to stay. It sounded like he liked LA. It sounded like he wanted to spend the bulk of this part of his career, the prime of his career, in a system where he's gonna be the guy on defense. He has to be by default the leader of that back line. So whether it's hard or not to play in Bob's system, I think that he was like looking forward to that challenge, and he looked like he was happy to be in the U.S. national team. And if those two things can go hand in hand, I think it'll be better for both of those.
Yeah, and as we touched on, he's going to be busy national team wise because this is a guy that they're going to put more responsibility not for just club but for country.
Yeah, he's looking to win a spot with Greg Berhalter's national team, so that's good for LAFC fans. You're going to want to see him high, and look, he's not going to score 30-yard set pieces, but he definitely scores on set pieces. So it's the best of both worlds.
6 goals for Walker this year.
I don't have a
He got a late
like
start,
that.
but he got him in. All right, bring it on home, Alex. What do you got?
Andre Horta. It's got to be Horta, right? I mean, I
it's
know.
There for him. It's
I know.
There.
I mean, he's the big mystery, right? The big question mark. In so many ways, you can make arguments on both sides why the first season didn't go well, or whether you're an advocate for him or you don't think he's the right guy for this team. But this season, there's no excuses, right? He's here from the beginning of the season. We're going to be able to get to see what he does. And I mean, when we watch him in training, even moments during some of the games he's played, his touch is incredible. It's a different level. I would say only
ball falls
Carlos
asleep
Vela,
on that foot.
Only Carlos Vela could compare with him, just the touch of the ball, the way that he can play. So for me, it's going to come down to two things. On his side, it's going to come down to his attitude. And if he's ready to bring it, if he's ready to buy into the program, ready to do what he has to do, and get psyched about playing for this team, now that he's in LA for a while and he can be comfortable. You know, he's a young guy just like these other guys, but he's got to adapt.
That's intimidating coming to LA for all of that.
Yeah.
For a young kid from Portugal, I think we give him a reprieve, but now's that time where he has to seize it.
I mean, the times I've spoken to him, I got the sense that he was still just like a little bit unsettled, but he was eager to get comfortable. And now I think he's going to be further along in that process. What's going to be more interesting on the other side is what Bob Bradley and the coaching staff's going to do. Because from all indications, what I've heard and what I've heard from Bob was that he wanted him to be a Xavi-like player. He wanted him to help him control games. If you watch the way he's played with some of his other teams, that's not always what the role that he played. He played more of playing more on the outside, more on the attacking side. So if they can't get him to work in that Xavi-like position, are you just going to abandon it? Are you just going to abandon this player? Or are you going to find a creative way to sneak him into this team? It's a long season, lots of games.
It's a big decision because they can go a long way if he hits those spots, Vince. We didn't really see that, but if he hits those spots, that's a weight off the shoulders of Bob and the coaching staff.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say they would abandon the player, but this is the way you have to play.
Right.
We've found this with every single guy that's come in. These are the ideas you have to play.
No, but
find the game in the middle of the pitch. Yeah, find the game in the middle of the pitch.
Do you think they'd be willing to move him around positionally?
In the midfield, everyone has to play. We need inside passes, boss the game through the middle of the pitch. There is no role to float.
Right. So you're saying he would never play in like a Diego Rossi type position?
He doesn't have the speed. It doesn't fit. Look, you'd have to change the system completely.
That's very limiting. That's limiting, and
so
it is how you have to adapt to the Bob Bradley system. But that's the way it goes.
But he's a technically gifted player that can't. We just talked about his touch.
He was picked to play this system,
yes.
So they've seen that touch. So it's got to all kind of come together.
And great shot. Look, great long shot.
Great long.
We haven't seen it, but great long shot.
Number thing on my list, I don't care who it is, I want to see a goal from 30 yards from the flow of play. I know it's going to happen this season because it didn't happen a season ago. All right, I think we're all in agreement by and large with everything. That's about to change because when we return a little bit later, we are going to discuss the social media segment. We have rated through them all and we've got some great entries. That's a little bit later, but right now we look and we speak to the newest member of LAFC, Mohamed El Munir, comes from Orlando and now a member of the Black and Gold. And here he is, new guy here for LAFC, Mohamed El Munir. You've only been in LA for a couple days, so this is all very new to you.
And thanks. It really was for me like takes forever when I was in Egypt waiting for my visa issue.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm here.
What was your reaction when you heard the news that LAFC was going to trade for you from Orlando?
I didn't really have that big. I was like shocked actually in the beginning because all rumors what I hear about me, because here you can't know until it's done. So
right.
I heard about every club want me to make the trade with, but I didn't have any idea about LAFC actually. For me it was like, what? Like, is it really? And I'm happy really. I mean, LA is a very nice city, the club. I love everything that I saw since I come here, and hopefully this year is going to be a really good year.
And you got to play at Bank at California Stadium. Orlando was here, you came on as the bench. What were your thoughts when you saw the stadium and the fans?
Yeah, the stadium is really amazing, and the fans of course, and I think anyone who see the stadium and the fans, I think he would love to play.
Yeah.
Mostly with of course with LA, but even against, I mean, it's really a nice experience to have.
So Bob Bradley saw you. He wanted you on board. So I'm sure the discussions have been there. But what do you know about the style of play that Bob has and how you fit in?
That's one of the reasons that makes me really happy. Because as I watched LAFC last year when I was as an Orlando City player, the style of the system that LA play with, I think it's like the system that I would love to play with. I mean, like to play nice soccer, very nice football. Like it's not just about running, fighting, and that's what I was looking up for a long time. And finally, I'm here.
All right. Well, let's learn a little bit about what you bring to LAFC. A left-sided player, natural left footer. So what can the fans expect to see from Mohamed El Munir?
That's a little pressure on me, but I'm really excited to start the season with the team. Maybe the results with my ex-team wasn't that good for us, but this year really the plan for me is to be much better than what I did last year with the team. Of course, with such very, very good players in the team as I know from before, and as I see nice players inside the locker room. I think I'm going to fit well in this team.
Yeah, I think so too. And you've been great with us on this interview thus far. You mentioned about the paperwork. You mentioned about being in Egypt and waiting, and now getting here and doing the physical. How excited are you to start to play?
I told you, I mean, like, I didn't even know that they say Sunday it's going to be the first game against Toronto, which it's too close for me since I came just a few days before, but I really would like to start immediately with the team after I finish the medical tests today.
Now, you're from Libya, and to people here, it's a bit of a mystery, but you've gone through a lot. To see the journey you've gone from a kid in Tripoli, can you believe that you're at this position?
I get used that people ask, like, who's this, or, why you're going someone like unknown, and which is like, give me more motivate to prove myself. That's what I was doing for the last 7 years as I play as a professional player. Every country or every club I play with, it was like a mystery, like who is he and what he's gonna do, is he gonna fit in the team? Because there's a pressure on me, but again, like it's more motivate to prove to people, like people who doesn't know you. So everything you're gonna do, it's gonna shows who you are and gonna surprise some people who didn't expect anything from you. So I was here for 1 year last year with Orlando. I think people who watch soccer, they know a little about me, and hopefully with the coach, with the new team, with the new coach, I hope I can improve myself and I can show much more that what I can do.
Mohamed, I think people are going to love you.
I hope so.
And I'm excited about your new beginning here. You mentioned Los Angeles, you've been here a couple times, but is there something you're looking forward to in living here, or something
exactly.
you want to do?
LA, I mean, not just because I was in Florida already, but anywhere like from where I come, when you say LA, I mean, they say like, hey, that's like a dream, and I'm like, it's like a dream come true actually for me, for my family also. My wife and my son is here now, So I think we're gonna enjoy it, and I think this was, I didn't make the decision, but I think like the people make the right decision for me to bring me here.
Well, everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
Mohamed El Monir, now member LAFC. We look forward to seeing him take the field very soon. If you're an LAFC fan, you have to check out what we have in store for you on YouTube TV. It has all your favorite channels and is officially the home for everything LAFC. Not only can you catch all of the great games all season long, you also get to hear it from some of your favorite analysts in the game. But wait, there's more. The LAFC network is filled with other great programming you'll definitely want to check out. YouTube TV, cable-free live TV is here. Joining you from Bank of California Stadium, right here in the locker room where it all happens. It's going to be busy once again here very shortly. This is LAFC Black and Gold. Alex, Vince, Max, we are here with you, and now a fun little segment we have for your viewing pleasure. We see what's trending on social media. We all picked 3 entries, posts that we liked, and we're going to bring them in here. We're going to judge them, so that's why we have the number 1 here, guys. So this is how it works. If you really like it, if you're lukewarm, if you don't like it, and we'll see who flipped through social media the best on this week. This is going to be very competitive. This is where the gloves are going to come off if they haven't already. All right, Alex, you will begin. What is your first post?
Paintball. Of course, right?
Nothing wrong with paintball.
So Arsenal's new coach, Unai Emery, after this huge period where Arsenal was just losing a ton of games, they finally got a win against Chelsea. And the first thing he does is he takes the team paintballing. So that's just like enough. There's enough questions I have, and he posts this photo, which I think you guys can see here, and he
a lot of flags.
You know, you can zoom in on all the players, their expressions. You don't know who got shot by who. You don't know what all the
they didn't load up on Mesut Ozil. That's how I figured the direction they would go.
Yeah, did Mesut Ozil even play?
He's in there.
Okay.
How much paint? We can't tell. All right.
So yeah, that's just. It makes me wonder if Bob Bradley would ever get really creative with the way he tries to motivate the team. You know what I mean?
So I'm gonna go right here. All right, You can go like 10 to 5 to 0.
I'm okay-ish with it. I will say this: Claudio Ranieri's reward to players used to be pizza, and I would be like this for that.
Pizza?
I'm up for pizza as well.
I think that's already an option for everybody.
No.
Yeah.
They're going to play paintball
These
together.
are well-oiled machines, friend.
All right. Well, let's go to the next one. It's my turn, so we're going in alphabetical order. Alex, Max, Vince. And we'll keep it in Major League Soccer, and this is Matias Almeida. Look, the fans greeting him there, and he came out in the pouring rain. I mean, it's a deluge. His hair is not messed up at all. El Pelado, that's why they call him El Pelado for a reason. And I mean, I can see some lightning and thunder. I hope this is not a harbinger of things to come for San Jose. LAFC will be up there March the 30th. This could be a big rivalry. I'm curious to see Matias Almeida, Bob Bradley on the sideline. I'm really excited, but this is not a good start. So how do you guys see it? Oh.
Our crowd would have been bigger. I'm
That's a decent, for the season they had, that's a decent crowd.
I'll pander. Or we would have been bigger.
I think the way that the camera is shooting it makes it seem like the crowd's bigger than it is,
Look
first
at
of
it.
all.
He's a man of the people.
Second of all, you don't get credit for weather. So, like, I don't think there's a way you can.
All right.
No.
All right, Vince, your first entry.
So my entry, I've got Papo Gomez from Atalanta.
Yes,
Serie A.
Argentine player.
You know I like my Serie A. I heard this young man, he might have been showing off a little much, and
What?
that is how you tackle.
That's bad parenting. That is bad parenting.
Can I just say this? I think the only bad part about it is you can't do that in the modern game. Because he got all ball.
No, he didn't. He got the kid's leg. Look at that. He could have broken that leg. Atalanta's got that great striker, right? The Duvan Zapata.
Duvan Zapata.
Oh, man, he's lights out.
10 in his last
black and
14.
gold. I didn't like the parenting at all, but I like the post. It's very.
That's a good one.
I just feel bad. And kids have to learn the hard way. You can't.
I just like that you can see the whole shadow when he jumps up in the air. That's how high he jumps. You can see the shadow in the sand. So I'm with that.
All right, Alex, you're up for your second entry. What do you got for us?
Keep it around these parts. We got two of the boys here. Latif's well known for his celebrations, his dancing, his things, and I'm just looking for a little bit more creativity out of this team this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
whether
this is a good
whether
way.
it's in goals, whether it's in preparations, moments like this. For the people watching at home, you get some funny little audio in the background. Someone talking about a Ferrari and a nail gun. It works.
It's Tristan Blackman going, come on, guys, let's move it along. We got practice to start, so he quelled it really quickly.
Right.
I think there's a lot there, Alex. I like it too. And Shaft, I'm looking at you, Shaft. I think it's going to be a good year for you. I think it's going to be a good year. So put the work in early. We know you've already got that, so let's rock and roll. You can vote for yourself.
You vote for yourself?
Yeah, I figured, never mind.
If you don't, no one will. You got to do
doesn't
it.
work with
I chose it for a reason,
two
y'all.
fingers up. It's got to be 3 fingers up.
All right.
And we continue on. This is going to be the fashion portion of our social media showdown. And this is from AIK Swedish Club. They are releasing the 1891 black edition of their jersey. It's black on black and black. It is none times blacker, which was a line from Spinal Tap when they had the Black album. You guys remember that? Spinal Tap?
Year I was born.
Okay. Thank you, Vince. All right, so there you go. Maybe LAFC has a version of this, all black, because black is sexy.
I think we're all angling to get.
Come on, Dwyer.
I'm with
Get
it.
one sent our
I'm
way.
with it. If they send me one, I'll rock it.
I'm a medium.
Sent AIK, we gave you some publicity. I don't know if you need it, but we'll be happy to give you some more if you let us wear that. And maybe we get an LAFC version, all black. All right, Vince, what do you have? And I know we're going to maybe have the fashion showdown here.
Yeah, fashion showdown. Sticking with a fashionable man, Paul Pogba, with his Conor McGregor-esque suit. It says Pogba.
Can we say what it says in the lines?
It actually says Pogba, so it's
No
not
profanity.
No censoring. We've been told prior to shooting that F-bombs are out, so no censoring.
F-bombs have been always out in my world. There's no reason for it.
Teach their own. I love it. I love Paul Pogba. I don't mind if he changes his hairstyle every other week. I love seeing it, and look how happy he is.
Yeah. We've had discussions. I like Paul Pogba. We was misunderstood. I'm happy to see him in the vein that he is in, enjoying life, World Cup winner, and now certainly things better with Manchester United.
I don't think whatever suit he's going to be wearing is going to take the smile off his face now that Mourinho's gone. He's just that happy.
Look at that face. That is.
And I mean,
Mourinho-free.
I might not be a fashionable enough dude, but I'm not with the suit, man. I'm not with it. And it just looks like Paul Pogba wearing another suit smiling. Someone could just keep swapping him in, and it just, I probably would have never.
I'm almost at 100%. We'll go. All right, Alex, while you're at it, let's go. Your final entry, and you got Marco Ureña up there.
A lot of people don't remember this, but he was the first man to put the ball in the net for LAFC. It was in preseason. Did it two games, and then the third one too, right? He did it once or twice. Anyhow, in the
Could have
preseason
put a
last
bunch
year,
in the back of the net.
didn't have the same stats in the regular season, but we loved Marco around here. He was awesome. He was a great interview, and it just made me happy to see that he went back to his Costa Rican club after 10 years. The Lion returns home is what it says, and for me, it's like saying the rest of MLS isn't good enough anymore. Chicago's
So
not
yeah,
good
no
enough.
Chicago Fire.
Hey, no LAFC, no nothing for Marco. I'd rather go home, which I did.
I think it may have been a good match at Chicago. Maybe he scored the goals, but I'm going to miss Marco Ureña. The goals didn't go in the back of the net, but man, the effort was there. He opened up the play in the first game against Seattle. His runs went a long way in that victory. So Marco, hopefully our paths cross.
Great
So
dude.
we're all good.
Great dude.
And a swipe at Zlatan.
And that's why we need more Lions. All right, I got this off the Soccer AM account, and kids, kids win the day. So this is from the Eastwood CFC youth team. I think I counted 6 passes set up to goal. Maybe we can provide this video for Bob. As you can see, very efficient in the midfield, engine room working, and then the finish. I am going for the low-hanging fruit, and kids, I know you're going to get the. I figured you can't go wrong with kids.
Don't vote against kids.
Don't vote against kids.
Look at the controlling of space, the tiki-taka, and the finish. It's all there.
There you go,
I had
Vince.
I had very little hope in you after the Spinal Tap reference. But with this, the kids, they're moving around, moving, grooving, bobbing, weaving, and they got the finish.
So you have not seen
with it.
Spinal Tap. So you should go see it tonight. That's your Friday night. There you go, pal. Enjoy your weekend. Okay, so here we go. Your final entry there, Vince. What do you have?
Last but not least, the nicest man in the world, Diego Costa, takes Lucas Hernandez, a World Cup winner, the disrespect, takes his clothes, decides to give it a good fire extinguishing. So Lucas, not gonna wait for those clothes to get warmed up. He's gonna go right out there in his skivvies and take it to the range. Take it to the range.
I mean, not even just the skivvies, but it was also the slips, the sandals coming out there. Look, I'm not going to like this one. It's good video. It's like these rich people destroying their cars.
It's like some Jersey Shore, real world things gone wrong. I'm just not with it. It just seems like, I don't know. It's just not what attracts me.
I just think no one can blame him. I mean, Diego Costa.
And Diego Costa, I mean, he's not the most popular guy by any means, even though that's what you said. All right, so who wins the day? Who wins the day? I mean, obviously not Diego Costa. Vince, I'm going to say you win today because the two-footed tackle. I mean, we were good with the kids. Obviously, a kid getting two-footed tackle, you don't want to
It's a well-executed
encourage
video
that,
too.
but it is what it is.
You can see his whole body floating, and it's just like this thing. You know what's coming. You
Yeah,
see it.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Just
Look, there was a
satisfying.
lack
Hey,
of tackling in that
good job,
soccer
great
AM
job,
video,
great job.
and so that kid learned a valuable lesson.
We
I'm
put a
with
lot
that.
of time into this. We just didn't settle for the first thing we saw. We really logged in some minutes to get you the best from social media. So that was a lot of fun. We'll do it again. Alex Dwyer, Vince LaRosa, Max Bredos. I hope you enjoyed it. We're back for 2019, and we're not going anywhere on LAFC Black and Gold.